There we go. I'm back. We are live just. Oh my goodness. I have no idea what's going on with Streamlabs, the software that we use to come in here today. But it was refusing to detect the Kev Baker Show 2 channel that we are all on right now, watching this on. So I had to go into internet caches, delete this, delete that, hope for the best, cross my fingers, and hopefully, we're good to go. It's great to be back, especially after last night's amazing show with Bill Bean. If you didn't catch that live, don't panic. We've got you covered. It's over on Bill Bean's YouTube channel. And of course, we were joined by Cheryl Jones from Coast to Coast. We got into the state of the world, her own paranormal, supernatural experiences, and even a case that she's been working on where there could well be evidence for those reptilians that you often hear me talking about. Now, I know, it's met with laughter by the majority of people, but I strongly believe that in the past, probably right now as well, and long into the future, we will have interactions with alien beasties. And some of them, yeah, you guessed it, they're fork-tongued. But back to the chat room. So I'll give the chat room a quick shout out. And I've got some really weird stuff to look at today. It's just a couple of stories that we can have a coffee with. I've got my coffee sitting there. We can have a PPP. And we usually hang out on Discord at this time of day anyway. So it'd be rude of me not to go live and share a couple of interesting time-related stories. Yes, we're going to be going backwards in time to look at now. And we're also going to be going from now to take a look at what could be a very disturbing future for all of us. And yes, I'm talking to you. You out there watching right now. I know what your future looks like. And it ain't pretty. It ain't. But we come into the chat room. And I want to give all of yous, well, at least those that aren't lurking, a little shout out. Because if you lurk and you don't participate in the chat room, and remember to switch it to live chat like I just did, then there's a good chance you're going to end up getting angry. You're going to think, why didn't that Kev Baker douchebag, why didn't he shout me out? Well, it's the way it works. If you're in the chat room, you're there. So I'm going to pop out the participants. We'll see if that helps us today. I don't think it will. It doesn't seem to have too many in there. So I'll see who I see. Or I'll say who I see. We've got Dead GPK in there. One Polly, the Wookie, Brian, First Paranormal, and Jason. I'll get to your question at the end of the stream. We've got DD Mac or Mick, yep, MC, Connie, Bearded. Good to see you, Bearded. Algo. I am after coming off the show last night. I was obviously adrenaline pumping. No danger I was getting to sleep. And I noticed the algorithm was live streaming. So that was the first time I've caught Algo live. I highly recommend it, folks. Highly recommend it. Thoroughly enjoyable stream. He was having a conversation with a lady, and yeah, very topical, very on point, and I think it'd be very worthy of your time to go and check out. So we've also got in here Thin Hope. Oh, we've got lots of hope. There's always lots of hope. Carol, good to see you, sister. You are now in blue. We've got David Bucky. Good to see you, David. Little Glob. I got your tweet today. I will try and make sure that I get that to Jess and Luna and Donnie. Very, very interesting indeed. We might even take a little look at that before we go today. But it was a link between the Denisovans and the Dingoes. Come on now. That is, that's the kind of woo that we deal in with here. So, scrolling up quickly, we've got Lewis, Jose Ramon. If I miss you, I apologise. Dead GPK, we've had that. Saint Marionette, yes. And I think that's about us. I think that's us for the chat room for now. Rick, I would never miss you out, brother. Absolutely. A fellow Scotsman, fellow ex-military. Yes, indeed. Big tip of the hat to you, my friend. So then, first up today, we're going to go back in time and we're going to take a look at something really, really uncanny. Now, we've often talked about predicting the future, people who can foresee future events. And of course, we also now live in a world where big data is getting bigger and bigger by the day. And as it gets bigger and it gets more detailed, then the predictive capabilities of the neural networks and machine learning algorithms, they will literally be able to predict the future. But first up, we're going to go back to the 1940s and a French film. Oh, ha, ha, ha. No, I'm not going to do that today. I know you don't like my French accent. I've seen it in the comments. It's okay. I thought it was a bit of fun, a bit of shtick while we done it. But hey, I listened to the audience, right? But yeah, we're going to go back in time. And I found this on Unexplained Mysteries. So if we come over here, check this out. So you can see in the picture right away here, a 1947 movie that predicted mobile phones. Now, in this, you see the lady looking at something that she's pulled out of her bag. And we're going to take a little look at that in a moment. But it says here a French film released in 1947 predicted several modern technologies with a remarkable level of accuracy. Historical depictions of the future, especially those in TV shows and movies from the first half of the 20th century, tended to focus on woefully whimsical space-age concepts that were pretty far off the mark. But as it turns out, some early predictions of the 21st century were surprisingly accurate. One prime example of this is 1947 film television All de Demain, or Television of Tomorrow, which was based on a short story by René Barjavel and produced by J.K. Raymond Millet as a depiction of the future as envisaged only a short few years after the end of World War II. So we've had many people predicting the future from that time period. We've also got, a little later than that, we had Arthur C. Clarke, his uncanny predictions of the future. Now, there's different ways of looking at this. Somebody like Arthur C. Clarke, in my opinion, was rubbing shoulders with some of the people that were the movers and shakers and the agenda makers of that time. And he may have had inside knowledge of what was to come. We can think of George Orwell as well. Wow, what an uncanny prediction of the future. His 1984 book continues to be right up to this day. The year might have been off with Orwell, but he pretty much was spot on. But again, he may have been privy to some of the information which gave him kind of an idea where things were going. Now, does this random film from France, were they using that for predictive programming? Was this individual rubbing shoulders with the world's elite and had an inside scoop on the technology of tomorrow? Well, that I can't tell you. But however he got there, it was pretty uncanny. And I'm only going to show maybe a moment of this movie here. It's down here. Yeah, we'll take a look at this. Really, it's only 4 minutes long, this. I'm going to play this for fair use. We only need about 30 seconds to show exactly what I mean. Take a look at this, right? We'll turn down the volume. We don't need that, so I can add commentary to it. You got a lady, lovely looking French lady, sitting having her coffee, and then, oh, what's that she pulls out? Now, if I close that there, you can see, now at the time, it's got an aerial on it. But what happens next freaked me the heck out, okay? Because that's one thing, right? And we had radios back then, not a big leap. However, what if I was to tell you in 1947, they uncannily predicted that we would one day be absolutely fascinated by taking selfies. Yep. Watch this. Here we go. Look at this dude here. Look at her. Absolutely blatantly posing for a selfie in 1947. I introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, the very first selfie, or possibly this gentleman here. It's people had a look from back then, didn't they? I mean, if he was to like walk past you in the street today, even if he dressed him in modern clothes, he would look like an old character. I don't mean like literally the character in the game. Well, maybe he is. We all are, right? But yeah, let's play this a little bit further. So there's the dude. That's the first selfie in the world. There you go. I know it's not. You get me. You feel me, right? So look, yeah, there she is, loving it. Look at that dopamine. Oh, look at this boy here. He's thinking, oh, hang on a minute now. But that was back when men were men. Look at that. I'll be talking about when men were men tonight later on the show. Not really, but kind of it relates to that. I'm going to start doing something called Woke Watch on tonight's show. So today's Woke Watch on the Kev Baker show is going to be so funny. You want to be there for that. I know. I shouldn't really say my own jokes are going to be funny, but you have to laugh at the absurdity of the world. But check this out. We've played 19 seconds so far. Fair use, hopefully. I think we have to agree. I'm adding something to this material here, right? So let's see. What's he late for? Do you think he's meant to be having coffee with that young-looking lady at the start of the show? You think so? I think so. You think there's a little bit of brown snail, brown cow going on? Do you think so? I think so. So let's see what's next. Yep. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Oh, she's on Skype. She was on Skype there. Do you see that? Look at that confused look. I was talking 1 minute and then all you can do is scratch your head with it. But yeah, there's people walking about. Look, they've got the whole zombie thing going on. You know, you see people in the street now, they've got their faces down. This film uncannily predicted the future. Look at it. Nobody looking where they're going. Whoa, those two nearly banged into each other. Dang. That's going to cause accidents. Oh, it does. So yeah, there you go. On the trains, you know, that's a bit confident. Anyone that's been on a train in the UK knows that the network's patchy. See? I told you. So, yeah, there you go. So, on a more quantum woo type kind of footing, is it all predictive programming? Or are literally people looking into the time stream and not realizing it? We've talked about this kind of topic loosely very much in recent times. The Akashic Records, a quantum field, the past, the present, and the future, all existing out there in some way that we can't even conceptualize. But from time to time, people tap into it. In fact, more than time to time, it's only from time to time that we become aware that people, and in fact, probably all of us, are tapping into this quantum field. You think of all the inventions that come along at just the right time, but not only that, 2 or 3 people are working on them at the same time independently. That's can't be just happenstance. That's got to be some kind of information field where there's almost time releases, time sensitive releases of ideas, thoughts, books, movies, you name it, that are then, I don't know how they choose who gets it, but downloaded into individuals. Maybe that individual has a dream, maybe has an idea about a movie just after World War II, and he thinks, you know, let's take a look at the future. What are people going to be doing? We've just defeated that evil fascism, and what's the first thing I think of in the future? I know what they're going to do. They're all going to walk around like zombies looking at a little black machine. That's a random idea for a film if that guy just created it in his head, right? Pretty random. And again, you come into our world today now, and we can kind of cheat. We really can kind of cheat. And I hinted at it before with the big data, with AI. You can pretty much predict the future within set parameters, obviously. because of the info that they have right now. But of course, not everyone's got the sentient world simulation. Not everyone has access to all of that big data. And we still have scientists doing what scientists do, getting extortionate grant money to come up with really, really silly, bizarre ideas. And we kind of took a look at this before, but we're now going to take a look into the future because the information must have got more. They've obviously been able to drill down further on just what you at home, yes, you, are going to look like in 25 years if, say, well, oh, this new normal goes on for that amount of time. Are you ready to get a really disturbing vision of the future, folks? Are you really? I don't know if any of you are ready for anyone, and I mean anyone, that looks anything like this. Good Lord, it was bad enough what they done to us, what we would look like in the future, but now they've made him an absolute soy potato? And I call him a potato in the kindest possible way because if you can't make the connection between that face right there and Mr. Potato Head, albeit a really drunk, battered, haggard-looking potato head, then I don't know, I can't help you too much there, but come on. Why on earth's name did they have to put pink love heart pajamas on somebody that, let's face it, I mean, if you were to dress this character, God forbid you ever seen him or it naked, because there's me assuming gender. We're going 25 years into the future here. Things are getting crazy, right? What on earth's name happens that we end up looking like this? Well, I've got you covered, because it's more of those scientists wasting money. Haggard, hunched, and morbidly obese. That sounds like half of the people. Half of the politicians in Westminster. Horrifying model reveals what you could look like if you worked from home for the next 25 years. If ever there was a good excuse to get us out of where we are now, it's got to be the fact that we'll end up looking like that. And what's even more disturbing, Anne has got pajama bottoms that look like that, don't you, Anne? Yes, you do. She does. I'm out in her. I'm out in her. No, I have not had any thoughts of putting them on myself. But let's take a little look at what it says here. Before I get going, I need to wrap up quickly today. I've got dinner to cook. Mr. Doubtfire is in the building, you know. So it says here, experts. Experts in what? The Sims gone wrong? That's what it looks like, right? That looks like if you play your character about 100 years into the future, he becomes a alcohol-addled maniac with issues. Serious issues, right? So it says here, experts. Again, what bloody experts? Yes, I'm an expert in the field of telling you what people will look like in 25 years. Well, that's absolutely fantastic, mate. Where did you study for that, dick? So it says here, this is what Brits will look like. So it's geographically, they're being very nasty to us Brits. I tell you, had to be a white dude, right? Just saying. Just saying. So if we were to work from home from the rest of our lives, we would look like that. Yeah, the home worker of 2045 is represented by Susan. Holy begoli! That's a chick! No, this just got really weird. Hang on. Surely not. I can't judge somebody by their name, right? I can't. I can't just assume gender on that. God, no, what? Dang, dude. Holy begoli. Algo. Thank you so much, brother. I'm in a right conundrum. And that's not a man. That's a woman. And its name is Susan. Yep, there you go. There you go. There's it looks like the dude out of Despicable Me. It looks like Potato Head gone wrong. That looks like a horror movie version of Mr. Potato Head. Oh, look, there she is. She lives. Look, there she is. I'll go.
So you can have a day off from cooking dinner.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Algo. She'll still crack the whip and have me doing something. You know that. If she's going to turn out looking like that, you better believe I'm going to cook the dinner, right? So, Susan, it looks a little bit like Susan Boyle. Hey, I'm not being cruel. Susan Boyle's a fantastic singer. She's Scottish. We're allowed to joke about each other. So, Susan suffers from hunched shoulders, a double chin, obesity, digital eye strain, dry, bloodshot eyes as a result of staring at a computer screen all day long. Folks, if any of you are getting up in the morning and starting to turn into this, turn off your technology. Have fun. You don't want to end up like this couch potato here. So the model portrays the effects isolated working can have on our bodies if we don't take the necessary steps to avoid them. Holy crap, who knew that working from home for 25 years would leave you looking like that? Holy cow. Jason, I didn't see that one coming, dude. I didn't see a female name coming in this story at all. That caught me off guard. You know me, I just seen the picture and I thought that's going to be a funny one. I didn't know it was going to be rabbit holes like this. So, yeah, the model portrays the effects that isolated working can have on our bodies if we don't take the necessary. I really don't know what effect or what has an effect on the body that makes you look like that. And I'm sorry, Susan, in the future. I'm not ugly shaming. I'm just saying, if this is our future, well, we need to sort this out. She's starting to look like the Mothman, for goodness sake.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
I had to. See what I'm saying? So, yeah. So with everything going on, having forced people across the globe into what has been the world's largest remote working experiment, we're in an experiment. Thanks for letting us know. Our usual interpretation of the park has been transformed forever. Interpretation of the park? Oh, I have no idea what that's talking about. Whilst your bed-to-desk commute, that sounds absolutely soul-destroying. Getting out of your bed. No wonder she looks like that. We can't allow this to happen, folks. This is a creepy version of the Sims game. Because she's been working at home for the next 25 years. And just daily crawling from her bed to her computer and back again. A bit like myself, but as you can see, well, no, in fact, if I showed you my hair, I am changing into that. What am I talking about? Holy hell. I've just looked at my own future. That's why it's so triggery. I figured it out. Coming to a screen near you next week. Queen Goddess. Brilliant. I hope people named Susan won't look like that. I know a lot of people, no, that'd be a lie. I don't know a lot of people called Susan, but I've known a few. Thankfully. Yeah, that went to a different rabbit hole altogether, dude. Yes.
Hope people named Susan won't look like that.
Let's hope not. But then before I go today, and before I get food on and sorted and everything else, you know how the KBS show works? Like, it's kind of weird. We kind of stumble into things from time to time where I have to step back and go, holy cow, what have I found? And today's one of those days. I was talking about these computers and these simulations and the advent of big data and our ability to predict the future from AI being able to find patterns and connections that us humans, we just ain't good at, okay? We talk about the sentient world simulation, something that came from Purdue University. We talk about the D-Wave. We've talked about all this jazz. We've also talked about the fact that maybe, well, I can't call it a fact. It is a fact, we've talked about it. But the idea that we ourselves are in some kind of super advanced biological simulation. Well, I stumbled across a company today that are researching the future. How can you research the future? To research something is to go over what others have searched for and produced and found in the past. You're researching, right? It's old data, it's things that's been there. Well, I found a company that deals with big data and they're predicting the future big time. Like I say, this was a quantum rabbit hole that I never intended to stumble down. I'm going to introduce it today and I'm going to talk about it further in the future. But, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a new name, a new company, a new bit of woo. Introducing to all of you. I'm going to build up a little bit more right now. It's really apt because watching a show called Warrior Nun, and in that they've got something called the Quantum Portal. They describe it as a gateway between our world and heaven, right? Well, I don't have a quantum portal for you, but I think this company has something pretty similar. Who are they? What am I talking about? Ready? Boom. Quantum Run Foresight. Ever heard of them? Either have I. But yet, look who they work in collaboration with. Forbes, Inverse, news channels, New York Post, Wired, Fox. Our company, Quantum Foresight, is a research and consulting agency that uses long-range strategic foresight to help organizations thrive from future trends. Since 2010, our foresight work has helped strategy, innovation, and R&D. That's research and development, in case anyone doesn't know. I know everyone knows that, but just in case. To stay ahead of disruptive market shifts, as well as to generate innovative product, service, and business model offerings. Now, when you come down here, and I'm going to be doing a show on this, but you get to learn all about it. You got the methodology, and in the methodology is exactly what I went looking for when I found this company. I thought, if they're researching the future, then they must be using machine learning and big data mining. Our team of data scientists analyze industry and client data to isolate trends and actionable opportunities that hide within the world's ocean of data. One company, and let me tell you, there are many that are researching a future that we believe hasn't happened yet. But the more I think about it, and the more I ponder it, and I don't want to take away from free will, but I honestly do believe that everything from the past, the now, the future, and what will ever be is already played out and stored in ones and twos and zeros in a quantum field that me and you, we access sometimes, in which these clowns with their big data are literally recreating in digital and silicon. And like I say, it gives them a magic power, almost the ability to see into the future. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to wrap it up now. I'm going to head on over to the Kev Baker Show proper. We're going to talk about some news. We're going to get some woo. And yeah, we're going to have some fun as well. Because in the end of the day, it was algorithm out there that made me think about this last night. I was listening closely, Algo. I lurk in the chat. You might think I've gone away now, but I'm going to do to all of you what Algo done to all of us watching his stream last night. And with as crazy as everything is getting in Clown World, and with everything we talk about with Bill and the darkness and everything else going on in the world and this time of change, right? Everything up in the air, everything hectic, everything going crazy. But close your eyes for a minute and just think of where you are right now in this moment. Because as algorithm pointed out to me, and I had a little smile on my face, it doesn't matter what's going on out there. It doesn't matter what's going on through our little scrying tablets and screens either. Because wherever you are right now in the world listening to this, in that one moment, just where you are, take into account nothing else, you're good. Everything's fine. And that really put things into perspective for me last night. Because sometimes when we look at all the stuff we look at, you really can get lost in amongst the data. And you sometimes lose sight of the fact of what it is. It's just data. And we have to sometimes remove ourselves from the game and adopt the quantum observer position. That, ladies and gentlemen, concludes today's madness, past, present, future, all wrapped into one. A film that predicted the future, and hopefully a model that got it all wrong about how we're going to look in 20 years from now. But I'm going to love you. I'm going to leave you until next time, which will be just an hour from now on tfrlive.com. You know what's coming next. Keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo. Rorsch. Okay, I'm going to call you Roar. We've talked about randonauting here on the show before. That is absolutely fantastic. But is it truly random? Because it might feel random, but if everything's out there, it already knows, right? Folks, if you would like to support the stream, and I am so grateful to Algo and to Queen Goddess today. Also, we've got PayPal. It would be very, very appreciated, but not necessary. You know I don't like to ask. So if I am asking, you know it's bad, but we will be back later on the Kev Baker Show. Until next time, keep it real out there. Keep it KBS.